And we're live. It's I put the Thanksgiving denouement, the drawing down or ending of Thanksgiving. Let's hit the intro this time. We are the Roto Hacker video podcast. My name is Judah Buddha. I'm here with AJ Herschel, the kid, and it's Jared. And we are here to give thanks for fantasy football. And we also have Ben Fadir in our chat already saying, good morning, guys. Looking forward to the F-ball this weekend. Hope your leagues are going well. One big start sit for me, Noah Fant or Johnny Smith. So we'll get to that in just a minute. How are you guys doing? How was your Thanksgiving?
AJ?
It was solid. Just spent time with my immediate family, so it was pretty good. I was a little bit disappointed because one of my friends had asked me, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm gonna pull out the root beer and watch Ravens Steelers." And guess what didn't happen? I didn't get the root beer with Ravens Steelers, and I may not get that this week either. So now it's going to probably be sadness root beer as I watch Bears Packers on Sunday instead. So that's a little bit disappointing, but other than that, it was a pretty solid Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, well, no Ravens is kind of a bummer. How about you, Jared?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It was a 2020 Thanksgiving, and my fantasy. I basically got in a fantasy hole already in some leagues because some guys had Antonio Gibson or somebody like that, which I started Duke Johnson and Will Fuller in some leagues, but I think a lot of those, like some, just kind of canceled out. Some of my opponents had some of those too. So yeah, I don't know that my fantasy week is off to the best start.
Yeah, mine either. We were talking a little bit before though. You said you don't like turkey. I know there are some people, there's a big split. And especially, I'd say, in the later generations of like, what do you eat on Thanksgiving? What's your favorite thing? A lot of people say turkey is not their favorite thing. They prefer the sides, the mashed potatoes, or the I don't know. What is your guys' favorite sides?
Oh, it's absolutely sweet potatoes and marshmallows. Easy. That's the best. To which half the time I'll tell people I love that, and they'll look at me and go, "What is that? That sounds like I'm going to have a heart attack after eating it." But
being from North Carolina, I know what that is.
It's so good. Love it.
Yeah, I'm a terrible Southerner when it comes to Southern food. Like I don't like hardly any like traditional Southern cooking, and it's kind of the same way for Thanksgiving. Like I don't like a lot of traditional Thanksgiving stuff. So
you like what, like hot dogs or something? What do you like on Thanksgiving?
No, so like so I just had Thanksgiving with my mom and grandmother, and fortunately they're not like huge on turkey or anything like that either. And so there's a local barbecue place where they're closed on Thanksgiving, but barbecue is something that heats up well too. And so so my mom just got like, ribs and pulled pork plates and stuff like that. And I mean, hey, that's perfect for me for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah. Ribs good anytime. I'll take it. Yeah. My favorite is mashed potatoes. I love me some mashed potatoes, especially lately. I've cut out most carbs. And so I forgot how good the starch tastes. So yeah, I've loaded up. Now, I thought this year was pretty good. I just had a little bit of everything, and that was good. I didn't usually Thanksgiving after the supper, I just like I feel that feeling. It's just like I gotta lay down. I have pain in my stomach. This time I just ate enough, and that was good. And it was much better experience.
Yeah. I've got on a kick lately of my diet has gotten it's actually gotten better probably since COVID and stuff. Part of it's, I think, because of COVID, and then part of it's just like, I don't know, just me
Life change.
being intentional and trying to, and so I've gotten to where like at least every other night, if not like multiple nights in a row, I make my own like sort of salmon salad. And so I go get like a spring mix from the grocery store. I put granola in there. I slice up an apple, put apple in there. And then I get sweet and smoky salmon from the grocery store, grill it and cut it up and put it in there. And then I put blueberry vinaigrette dressing over it. And that has become like my go-to meal. It's been a good change.
Nice. I kind of like that. Makes me think lately I've been craving fish soup.
Fish soup.
Yeah. Like it have like vegetables and stuff in it. And maybe I forget onions, onions and some green vegetables. I don't know. And then fish, salmon or some kind of fish. I don't know. This is something I've been craving. Put a little garlic in there and anyways.
Nice.
Anything you've been craving lately, AJ?
No, I think I got my fill on Thanksgiving. I haven't taken my ceremonial root beer yet since Raven Steelers got canceled. So I'm saving it for something. I'm not sure what. But
okay, so this is like a tradition that you usually have your root beer and you watch some football.
Typically, yep, that's how it goes.
Okay. All right. Well,
I think that's a tradition for a lot of people, just without the
probably
root,
true.
Without the root.
Without the root. Yeah. Yeah. I actually recently. So I went on a double date. My wife and I, we went to, and we did this pottery. You make your own pottery thing, and I grabbed this mug / stein. So beer or coffee goes in there, and I'm pretty happy. It lacks a little heft. It's a little too light.
I'm a mug collector. I've got a lot of.
Oh yeah.
I've got too many mugs. I've got too many mugs. Like
nice.
One breaks and I'm just like, good. I need fewer of them. So.
Yeah, we have a lot around here too. All right. Well, let's get to some football.
Let's just make this whole like culinary. Like we'll just have throw people a curveball. 2020 has just been throwing people curveballs. It's throwing me a lot of curveballs. We're just gonna throw listeners a curveball and just make it on, favorite foods and how best to prepare them.
Kitchen stuff.
Yeah. Right. It's really what people are tuning in for mostly.
That's what they want. That's what's in the chat. In fact, nobody has put. I'd like to see in the chat. So McSweet or Ben or Sam, any of you in the chat, tell us what your favorite thing is to eat, especially on Thanksgiving. I'd like to know. Is there a special side? Do you like turkey? I love turkey. I do. I love turkey. But I like the dark meat better because the white meat does tend to be kind of dry. It can be. But unless we get anything, give the people what they want. Kitchen stuff, says Sam. Okay, we got some stuff rolling in. Sam says cranberry sauce and stuffing are the highlights for me. Oh, I forgot about stuffing. It has to be made right for me. I don't like to mess with the ingredients. It's straight normal stuffing is good for me. Ben says my fave is turkey with gravy, baby. Woo! Yeah, classic. And McSweet says I like to eat me mom's homemade cranberry sauce. That sounds good. Yeah, there's some people that hate cranberry sauce.
That's
people,
that's like my favorite part of it, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
The cranberry sauce.
Yeah, because I mean anything just like what I was talking about with the salad, I'll put like blueberry vinaigrette dressing on it, and kind of how I got started on that kick was getting
blueberry,
well, how I got started on that kick was from Chick-fil-A. They have a market salad with apple cider vinaigrette. And I had never like eaten salads up until a couple years ago. And I tried that and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I think I can deal with this. Cause it's kind of the same thing. It's, it's lettuce and grilled chicken and fruits like, strawberries, blueberries and granola over it. And so I'm like, but those things are also like $8, which is, I love Chick-fil-A, but $8 for what you're getting there is really disproportionately overpaying. So I'm like, maybe I can just make my own for cheaper. And I do. I like this better because I like the salmon better and the blueberries a little bit better than the apple. So it's worked out well.
Well, my dad pulled out this. He got this little jar, a little thing of habanero blueberry hot sauce, and we tried that. I tried that in our leftover turkey soup last night, and that was I liked that. It's kind of nice. And so the blueberry, I like the blueberry twist.
My aunt once told me that I'll eat just blueberries, I'll eat some kind of blueberry candy, and so she told me I was going to turn into a blueberry. It's fine. I can be a Smurf. I wear enough blue. You wear the blue hat. Right. Yeah, and my eyes, you can see especially with the hat too. My eyes just are
blue. Oh yeah.
Thomas H is with me. He says, you can keep the turkey, give me all the sides and spaghetti or pizza, or I'll have some pulled pork with carrot. Hey, I'm on board with spaghetti too. I don't know about pizza quite as much. Pizza feels like you're pushing it a little too far on the Thanksgiving and you're cheapening it a little bit. Spaghetti feels a little more sophisticated. I would be on board for Italian, some kind of Italian spaghetti or something like that. Yeah, I'd go for that too.
Guess they're making me hungry. AJ, do you like blueberries?
Yes, I do. I do like blueberries.
Do you like blueberry flavoring though? Because that's different, right?
Back and forth. Depends on what it's in. It can be good sometimes, and sometimes it's just no. It's got to be made right.
Yeah. Okay, well, unless we have any more comments, I think we probably should get to the little football.
I guess so. Before we get into this week, let's recap our little quick discussion here before we started. In that, in the public league, not our Roto Hackers Listeners League, but in the public league that Judah and I are in, he and I both. It's just a $20 league, but he and I both lost by less than a point last week. Basically less than a half a point. And I went in Thursday morning. And there was a stat correction, and he had won. Like we were both going to be 5 and 6 at that point, and I would be ahead of him in points slightly. But then he had a stat correction, and so he had jumped up to 6 and 5. I was so mad, and because he got one and I didn't. It's like the little. Well, I was going to draw a comparison, but that would be a whole rabbit trail of a story. Anyway, So I told him this morning, I'm like, did you see where you got a stat correction and you won? And he went to his team and looked and it wasn't there. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to look like a liar now because, I just teased him with, oh, look, you won. No, not really. And so I'm like, well, I swear I saw this. I'm not crazy. It had your record flipped and everything. And so we went in looking, and there were a ton of stat corrections actually from last week. And sometimes you don't get any at all. Sometimes you get a couple. There were a bunch from last week. And so I theorized that they must have had a stat correction and then retracted it or something like that. And it looks like that's what happened because his opponent, we went into his first and you didn't even have any guys that had any stat corrections, but we went into his opponent. And his opponent played Naheem Hines. Naheem had a stat correction that resulted in a 1 or 2 point change. And then later in the day, another stat correction, which added it back. So
that should be illegal.
Yeah.
You should not be able to do that.
Yeah. So anyway, some of you, if you haven't really paid attention to your teams or records from last weekend, if you had a close game that was decided by less than a point, you might have, either gotten it flipped or gotten it flipped and then had it flipped right back again, one way or the other. So anyway, you might want to check those out.
Yeah, I saw like Lamar Jackson got, I don't know, something changed. There were a few
Tannehill,
Taysom
Hill. There were a fair number of.
I need to go back and check my other teams. So in the news, let's hit the little annoying news.
News in the NFL today.
There is a lot of news just going down. What's funny is I was watching this one team. It's actually turned out to be year over year my favorite team. It's not a huge money team. It's just it's the first team I was ever in, first fantasy league I was ever in, and we've been together for a long time. It's a keeper league. So I was watching my matchup because I'm like third place. I really want to be first place. You get a little extra bonus. And my opponent had Swift in his lineup, and I just kept watching. Is he going to keep it? Should I text him and remind him? And I was agonizing over it so much that I forgot to check my other leagues where I was also playing Swift in my $100 league where I'm third place. So
yikes.
So it's probably karma. But so Swift was out this week. So is Gurley. He's out for the week. And let's see. We have Gurley. It looks like Doug Peterson just says that Zach Ertz is not going to play. And we have some people that are in. Devontae Adams will be playing. Tua is questionable.
Interesting.
After getting benched for not being very good. He has a finger problem. And as well, it looks like Bernard might be in. So when people were worried about him not being able to play, Gio Bernard, of course, Mixon is on IR. So I saw a lot of people. I picked up P. Ryan in a couple places, and in my dynasty league, I picked up who's that? Devontae Booker? No, I can't ever pronounce his name right. It's I can't remember. There's the backup, rookie backup.
Oh, are you talking about for Tennessee?
Yeah, no, for the Bengals.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Even behind P. Ryan is some rookie. But anyways, so those are some of the things. Sammy Watkins will also be good to play. Let me see if I'm missing any. And it looks like McCaffrey is doubtful to play.
Which I'm just like, Matt Rule, as a McCaffrey owner, don't play with my heart like this. If you're going to deactivate him for the week, just go ahead and do it so I can grab someone for this 1 week so I can stash him on IR. Please.
Yeah, that must be hard. So if he's a Q tag, or is it it's not an O tag, so you can't put him on your IR.
Yeah. And even if he is on your IR, you can't drop it. You have to drop someone to do something else. Also, Myles Gaskin is still questionable to return. It's because Salvin Ahmed's out. So theoretically, if Gaskin's in, he's getting the bulk of the carries. But what
about Breda? Breda might get a lot.
How many times have we said that this year? To be honest,
well,
if Gaskin doesn't play, Breda could be huge this week. But
that's true.
If Gaskin's in, I don't know what the time split's going to look like. Flores is, quote, non-committal on Myles Gaskin.
Are you getting deja vu from Seahawks? I mean, doesn't this feel a lot like what we just went through with the Seahawks?
Oh, my goodness. What we're still going through with the Seahawks?
You're right. It's still not over. All right. Well, so do any of those, do you guys want to go in any direction? The biscuit is back. It looks like Trubisky is going to play. Good news for
play all your Allen Robinson shares.
All your Allen Robinsons, yeah. Which I'm playing against Allen Robinson, so that's not good news for me. But Adam Thielen also will not play. Probably won't play. Oh, the big one I forgot is it looks like our B Austin Eckler is probably going to play for the first time in a long time this week. Are you guys firing up? Anybody firing up some Austin Eckler? I put him in my lineup. It feels a little weird, but I put him in my lineup.
I guess the last thing I saw was just from yesterday where it said he has a chance, but didn't sound confident. So
yeah, it doesn't sound hugely confident. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we may get one more week of Kalen Ballage, but
really,
I mean, let's see if there's anything this morning.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, I would. You know, I mean, you'll just have to see. But
and we talked about this last time. Montgomery looks like Montgomery's a full go.
Yeah, so he's cleared. Well, get your annual 10.3 this week from David Montgomery.
He's got a good matchup. I put him in the lineup, and I have high hopes for him this week. High hopes for the moment. Anywhere you guys want to go with that? Anything to discuss there? Any questions you guys have or want to discuss about? I'm kind of curious what you guys think about. Is Adams going to be? Is Devontae Adams going to be a full go? He just looks. I'm worried about him. I guess I'm so dependent on him lately. Feel like he's the last bastion of point making opportunity on any of my leagues.
I think he's going to be all right. I think
full
everything
go?
looks like a full go. I'm more concerned about Julio, who's now officially questionable. That's the guy I'm really concerned about.
Yeah, and Matt Ryan, they showed the stats of like what Matt Ryan has done when Julio's been out or limited, and it's just, you know, garbage. Like he's finishing as like QB 20 something every time. Yeah, and that's great. That's a sort of a tempting matchup for people too, because you know it's the Raiders, but I don't know. I mean, you're still firing up Calvin Ridley and Brian Hill. The Raiders haven't been very good against the run, but Matt Ryan or even like Hayden Hurst, you know, who had I think 0 last week.
I think Hayden Hurst is droppable at this point, don't you?
I mean, he's so hard to trust, you know, week to week. Yeah. I mean, I think if you can go get like a Jordan Reed or an Eric Ebron.
We talked about grabbing Hooper last time. Hooper was on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
And still in a couple of leagues, I've seen him on the waiver wire.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'd rather have Hooper. I'd rather have. I was trying to think. Oh, what do you guys? Oh, So I had this question and I forgot to ask you guys, and it's too late now. What's his name for Washington? He ended up doing pretty well too. Logan Thomas or Logan.
Yeah. Is it Logan Thomas? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I feel conflicted about not playing him, and I dropped him in a few leagues. But I dropped them for someone like Fant. Are you guys feeling good about firing up some Fant this week?
Sorry,
Hayden Hurst or Fant? Hayden Hurst or Fant?
Denver's, I don't know. They're kind of just sharing the ball around so much. Fant the last few games just hasn't done a whole lot. I mean, 3 targets, 7 targets, 5 targets. You know, 2 of those 3, he's right around 50 yards, but he hasn't gotten a touchdown since week 2. I guess maybe I would roll the dice on Hayden Hurst.
Well, going back to Ben's question, would you do Jonnu or Fant?
I mean, Jonnu's kind of
Jonnu.
Yeah, I mean, he's at least, you know, 2 of the last 3 games he's getting a touchdown. If he doesn't get that touchdown, then, you know, I don't know. Because he's not getting yards. I mean, the last 6 games, you know, he's had 13, 9, 29, 32, 14, 20. He's not getting any yards. So he's extremely touchdown dependent. So I guess I don't know. I mean, Fant I think has the safer floor in there, and Janu has maybe a little more upside.
Hmm.
Same, AJ. What do you think?
I think I agree on this one. As much Fant is always going to be safer to me because he's just going to get you 7 consistently in half point. He's literally going to get you 7, almost nothing more than that. The thing with Denver that worries me is that they have scored a combined, I think it's 32 points in back-to-back games combined, meaning that's 12 points and then 20. And now they're playing New Orleans. Yeah, guess how comfortable I feel starting Noah Fant against the New Orleans defense. So I'd rather go Janu in this case. He's so stinking touchdown dependent. I traded him away a couple weeks ago, but I mean, they're going to be playing Indianapolis. They're going to have some kind of red zone threat. And the last time they played the Colts, Titans got absolutely smacked. Granted, it was a Thursday game, but I think I'd rather go Janu in this case. I think it also depends on how we normally say, look, is this game one that you're projected to win or projected to lose? If you need 15 points from them, I'd say go Janu. If you just need a solid 7, go Fant.
Okay. Well, McSweet123 says, I like your cut, G.
Don't know who that's to.
I just always assume it's me.
You do have a nice cut. Now, one thing that we haven't talked, sort of in the news, I don't know how to talk about it because I don't really know the answers. I just got a notification a little while ago about more cases on the Steelers side of things.
On the Steelers?
Yeah, let me. No, Steelers may have more cases. Pittsburgh is bracing for multiple additional positive cases today after 3 players went on COVID Friday. The Steelers side.
Wow.
So is that game going to be played? Not looking bright.
Yeah, that's actually interesting because I was just reading up that there's a potential that before you just said the Steelers had COVID cases, that the Ravens might have had to forfeit the game just entirely. Now you're saying the Steelers may not even be eligible to play. That's crazy.
When I also saw earlier, I think it was yesterday that I think it was the Denver Broncos had a bunch of cases too. It seems like there's just been, let me see if I can find that. Ravens, Steelers, everything's about the Ravens, Steelers. Yeah, I can't find what I saw earlier, but so that game does not look like, isn't it funny that this is the second time the Steelers have to deal with this?
I know.
Yeah, they were mad. They were going on social media griping about it.
Really?
Yeah.
It does feel like they were robbed. Now they are what at this point? 11-0?
Yeah, 10-0. I think they're
10-0,
10-0, 11-0, whichever.
So
they're unbeaten. Yeah,
they're unbeaten. So, so do you expect that? How will this change their as far as that goes, being unbeaten and all that? Is this going to? I don't know. Are they going to move the game to next week? What are some options here that we could talk about?
I don't know actually what they'll do because they're running out of we're starting to get towards week 18 territory here.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the latest of what they plan to do, but I mean you're just running out of places to move games, so I don't know if they could even squeeze it in somewhere without just pushing to week 18 or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, it has. The reason I brought it up because Sam wants to know he traded for Claypool and
no, he traded Claypool.
He traded Claypool and probably Mostert for Lockett. The trade is said to go down on Tuesday morning, but Claypool played Tuesday night. Do I play Claypool? I don't think they're gonna. I really don't think that game's gonna be played. I don't know. I guess a lot can happen between now and Tuesday.
It's interesting. He's saying, do I play Claypool or is he going to be traded away? I think in that instance, Mostert and Lockett, unless they're on your guys' benches, if they're in your starting lineups, they're going to play, and the trade's not going to go through till next week. That would include Claypool, I think. So the trade
would get bumped until after the last game.
Right. If all of them are on your benches, Lockett, Mostert, and Claypool, if they're all sitting on your bench, the trade should go through Tuesday morning. But if any of you guys are starting Mostert or Lockett, then the trade isn't going to go through because you're getting the points from them already for the week. It would go through Wednesday morning instead.
Interesting. Think it's just a good bet to keep them on your bench either way, don't you guys think?
Yeah. I think the Bills, when it was the Bills Titans or one of them that got pushed to Tuesday.
Bills Titans was Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, like I chanced it on some of those. It depended on who else I had and all those things, but I rolled the dice on a few of those guys and left them in. This one is not trending in a way that encourages me to leave them in, but it's going to be tough though, because like, I've got Mark Andrews in some leagues, and tight ends are harder to replace. And in some of those, a couple of those, like Hawkinson was my other one. And I should have just gone ahead and played Hawkinson, but it was, that was before we knew quite how bad it was. So anyway.
Well, also, really quick, breaking news. I just noticed because I was going through my lineups real quick to see if I had any Steelers starting. 11 minutes ago, Jonathan Taylor just got put on the COVID list.
Oh, I did not see that.
It literally just happened.
This was a bad year for for John Buster to make a bet with me.
What was the bet?
Rookie. 1,000 yards. I said he would get Jonathan Taylor would get under 1,000 yards. So far, he hasn't even reached 500. So
yeah, I think you're gonna make it on that one.
All right, so that's good news. That's good to know. Bad news for Jonathan Taylor owners. But it is kind of last minute, and I see no news about it, so I'm glad you're scrolling through and looking at that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Sam also asks, hey guys, I made some crazy trades. Here's another one. One was I give Chubb for Swift. He's got really good matchups coming up. I also did Galladay, Deontay, and Ingram, and Edmonds for Sanders.
And to clarify,
he asked about that.
Yeah,
remember he asked about that trade, and that's a haul, my friend. But
and to clarify, he said his team looks like Mahomes, Adams, Antonio, Jacobs, Swift, Sanders, Goddard, and Young Huku. 12-team PPR.
I don't like either of those trades. How do you guys feel? I'd rather have Chubb. And I'm not a big fan of Sanders. I've never been a big fan, and I don't have him anywhere, but I've seen a lot of complaining about it. And did he have a bad week this last week? Because I saw a lot of complaining.
Yeah, I don't know about those trades. I kind of get the Edmonds. That's a lot to give up for Sanders, actually. Yeah, sorry, I thought that was for Edmonds and Sanders. Yeah, that's a fair amount to give up.
Yeah, hey, you never know. Fantasy.
Yeah, it's definitely aggressive to say the least, because especially getting late in the season, people are trying to set their teams. So
yeah,
I get that. It's just a lot for Sanders. Like, take out Deontay, I'm like, okay, I get it. Take out Galladay, I'm like, okay, I get it. But hey, it's a number one running back. We talk about running back tax a lot, and this is 12 teams, so they're worth more because there's less of them. So.
Yeah, take it. You made them already, so it's like we don't want to bum you out or anything.
Yeah,
and you never know.
That could work out. It could work out because your lineup's set. To be fair, your lineup is
I
set.
mean, that's the thing. He's got a great lineup already.
Mhm.
Anyone who started Antonio Gibson or Will Fuller had a happy Thanksgiving.
Very
Yeah,
true. Or
I played
Deshaun Watson,
against him.
33 as well.
Oh yeah, Deshaun Watson had a huge. I played against these guys in several leagues. I don't have, for all my talk, I was talking to my wife about this. I was like, Antonio Gibson, like he was one of my favorite rookies coming into the year, and I ended up with 0 of him somehow. I don't take my advice. I never take my advice. I don't know why.
I had some of that.
Like many people, I don't trust you. What were you saying, Jerry?
No, I was just gonna say, I did some of that myself too. I needed to trust my own advice more.
But yeah, do either of you guys have any Gibson or Fuller? I know in the listener league I'm playing against Gibson.
I have some Fuller, just a couple shares. I don't have any Gibson.
Yeah, I don't think I have any Will Fuller because I was super scared he was going to get injured. And I was like, first year, nope. First year healthy, not doing that. But no, I don't think I have Gibson. That was just kind of a fluke later round. I just don't have any of them. But I got 2 shares of Deshaun, so that's been nice the last few weeks. So I will absolutely take that free 33 points.
If AJ says to sit Fant, I will, says Ben. You say sit?
I think if you're projected to lose, sit him. You need the 10 plus from Janu.
Okay. Hey, we got Juvano.
What's good?
What's up? What's good, fellas? What's good, brother? Thanks. Good. Oh, okay. So he already told him that. All right. Pick 2. A running back 2 and a flex. CEH, Gallman, AB, Slayton, PPR.
I'm going to be honest. This one's really easy for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is easy. CEH, Gallman, Antonio Brown. That's not even close. I'm going to.
It says pick 2. Pick 2.
Pick 2. Oh, running back 2 and a flex. Gallman, AB. Gallman, AB for me.
Really?
Really?
I have a good feeling about CEH this week. I think CEH could start to take off.
I like CEH, but he has a brutal matchup this week.
Who are they playing?
Against Tampa. Yeah, that's a top 3 run defense right there. So
yeah.
I'm not. And especially with, Le'Veon has really just been the passing back at this point. But still, I wouldn't want to start him against Tampa Bay.
That's a
Gallman.
good point.
We've said had a safe floor and good matchups. He's getting you 15 in red matchups. Absolutely. I want to see what he's going to do against Cincinnati this week. And since this is PPR, Antonio Brown has somehow been able to get like 12 points a game in PPR. He just gets 6 catches for 60 yards and then he's done. So if he catches 1 touchdown, you're immediately at like 19. And Darius Slayton is kind of became the bane of my existence for the first 8 weeks of the season, and it hasn't gotten much better now that Sterling Shepard is back. So this is easy Gallman, Antonio Brown for me.
Gallman and gosh, I don't know. I feel like this is a week to play Darius Slayton with Cincinnati. It's risky. Risky because you don't, I think AB's the safer play. AB's the safer play, but he's also in a offense with 2 other guys who require a lot of targets. I would maybe roll the dice and say Slayton, but again, it's kind of like one of those other questions from before where he's not the safer play. He's definitely got a lower floor.
Interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. Let's go to the next one. Oh, Anthony's in too.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is it morning? Yeah, I guess where he is. Let's see. Please, where you are, right?
Yeah, morning where I am. Yeah, we're good. Works for me.
Please sit 1 wide receiver. Woods, Robinson, or Jefferson.
With Thielen out, I'm not sitting Jefferson anywhere. He is all Jeffersons go if Thielen's not playing.
And Biscuit's playing, so I probably would start Robinson and Jefferson.
Woods is going against San Francisco. He didn't do that well against them last time. He had a touchdown, so it made his stat line, his point line look better, but he had like 29 receiving yards. So, yeah, he would be the one I would sit from that group.
Okay.
Same.
All right. Let's try not to use bad language, Liam. But he says, dang you, Zeke.
That's rough,
What up,
man.
guys?
2
What's up,
points?
Liam? Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, and after, especially coming off of his Minnesota game last week, where you know, and I knew Washington was a pretty tough run defense, but I'm thinking like, okay, maybe there's a little momentum off there for the whole Cowboys offense, and they're at home, and maybe he can just do something. Nope.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
All right, one last one. Oh, Sam was saying, what was this about?
His trades, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. He said it's all good. Just the matchups. Yeah, the matchups for those guys are pretty good. And who knows? Galladay may not play the rest of the season.
That's true.
I am so fed up with Galladay. I have no problem with getting rid of Galladay. And the same thing can be said with Deontay. He's always banged up. So, who knows? Well, that does it for the chat. Might be a super short episode, a super short fantasy episode. Did you guys have any more hot takes on Turkey or anything going on? I did see, finally, I got a notification. AJ broke the news before even Sleeperbot broke it. So I just did see the notification about Thomas.
JT.
I mean, sorry. Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, not Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
So would you guys go out and get Wilkins? I saw just now, I was like, it's interesting, people picking up Wilkins. Oh yeah, that's why. Taylor's out.
Yeah, it's a little bit risky because you've still got Naheem Hines, and he was the guy last time against Tennessee. But I feel like they'll mix them both in if Taylor is out, which I guess he will be, because I don't know that they would have time for it to be like negative test. And then, like with Thielen earlier in the week, they were saying like, well, if he has multiple negative tests, but I think, since it's Saturday, I don't think Taylor would have time to get cleared. And even then for next week, then that's kind of shaky. So, I mean, if he is positive, if he really is positive and they confirm that, then, I'd say, there's probably a good chance he's going to miss next week too. So, yeah, I think Wilkins is worth a pickup,
Yeah. So I'm looking at him in that league that we have. Would you play him instead of Gordon? Gordon's got a tough matchup. Or Harris, what's his name? His first name, Damian Harris.
It's kind of a risk either way, because you've got. I think you know that those guys are going to get volume, but it's it's a tougher matchup. So that's kind of a tough one.
Yeah. Let's see. How about you, AJ? Would you pick up Wilkins and play him over Gordon? Would you play him over Harris? I'm trying to think of some other kind of question marks. Would you play him over Henderson?
I probably wouldn't over most of those guys, just because with the others, we know that they're going to be we know they're going to get carries. And at least Gordon, he fumbled last week, but he got all the goal line carries. Lindsey got him down there. Gordon finished it off. Harris is still the workhorse back in New England. It's just all the rest. I know I'm going to get production out of them. So I'd rather start them instead of Wilkins. Granted, I did just slot in Wilkins in our listeners league because Gurley's out. So that helps me a little bit, mainly because, my goodness, I can't think. Taylor got the goal line carries. Hines got him down there, and when Taylor wasn't in there, Wilkins was the one who got the goal line carries instead. So I don't know if Wilkins is going to do much in yardage, but I think he has a decent chance of breaking in a rushing touchdown from 2 yards, 5 yards out. That's what I see his production looking like. His ceiling could be somewhere around 17 just based off of goal line carries, in my opinion.
But it is sort of a moot point because I picked him up in our league. So
Oh, you vultured me. I do wish I was a Hines. That's another guy I love coming into the season. I wish I had more Hines. Do you feel like Hines? I kind of get a sense that Hines could be a league winner at this point. He could be one of those guys that at the end of he just goes off last 5 games of the season.
It's definitely possible, but also can I just mention I love the character arc of Judah and Naeem Hines where he drafts Hines and then he immediately drops him before the season. Hines gets 20 points week 1, so he gets him back. Hines does nothing for weeks, so he drops him. Then Hines blows up again 2 weeks ago, and he picks him all the way back up and spends the rest of his fab. It's incredible. Yeah,
incredible. This is like the why can't I quit you meme. It's
true. It's true. And I gave up on him at some point because I was just tired of I can't. But now it feels like he's going to I got it. We do have some chat is blowing up again. It says Liam says Browns D versus Jacksonville or Miami D versus Jets. Ooh, juicy. Either way, I see Chark and Conley are out. Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot to mention that. Chark and Conley are out, and Myles Garrett isn't back yet for the Browns, but they did pretty well without him last week.
Granted, in a horrible weather, huge rainy game where they got a pick 6 up of Carson Wentz, and it was super low scoring. So granted, the weather played a major factor in that one.
Did it? Okay.
It did. Yeah, it was a mess.
Well, let me see I don't know that it's going to be better this week.
Right, exactly. They're playing in Jacksonville, so it could be just as bad. I think I'd go Browns. I think I'd go Browns D. They're getting to the quarterback. They're forcing sacks. I like Miami's defense. I think they're definitely safer, but I think especially against if Flacco's playing again for the Jets, there's still the possibility they get a couple late round touchdowns. I am not really feeling James Robinson and Jake Luton with a minimal wide receiver core against Cleveland. Myles Garrett is absolutely the workhorse there, but the Browns defense is still solid. So I would go Cleveland in this scenario.
It's not going to be gluten-free. It's going to actually be he used to play for the Bears.
Mike Glennon.
Mike Glennon,
Browns
aka Napoleon Dynamite, is going to be the quarterback. You haven't seen that meme? Glennon probably you have to.
I think is it Glennon or I thought it was maybe I don't remember. I thought it was Foles that I'd seen.
Yeah, Foles too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Foles. Anyways, so does that help the case? I mean, Glennon against that Browns D. Give me all the Browns D.
Yeah, I think so. I mean that Miami Jets match. I mean, it's. You've got 2 great choices. It's an embarrassment of riches there, but maybe all things considered, maybe Cleveland, but I guess maybe Cleveland.
Might get Myles Garrett back too. I mean, it's not too late.
Yeah.
Although it does seem that they're taking longer. The restrictions are tighter.
Oh, also interesting note that I just thought about that I just looked up because I wasn't sure. Darnold's playing. He's starting this week over Flacco.
So I don't know how that helps or hurts. Depends on
play all of your Crowder this week. If he loves to go to anyone, it's Jamison Crowder. Also, McCaffrey is officially out. Thank you, Matt Rule, for finally doing that.
That's kind of sad, though, right? Because next week is their bye. So
yes, it's frustrating being a McCaffrey owner. We've established that, but at least he's letting me know ahead of time.
Okay, Juvano says Allen or Wilson. I have this. No,
it's a good problem to have, man.
I think it's Allen, right? I mean, you got to go Allen. Wilson, I think he asked about this before, or maybe I talked about it because I have Allen and I have to play him against anyway. So he has a decent matchup, and Wilson tends to go down towards the end of the year. I mean, it's what we've talked about, right? They start just kind of hunkering down and running the ball.
Yep.
But he's got those two sweet targets in Lockett and DK.
Well, DK
go off
defenses
any
are
day.
starting to double DK Metcalf a lot now, and I'm still annoyed that Metcalf dropped it. Dropped it. Two wide open passes, but it happens. I won that game anyway, so that's okay. But yeah, I think I'd go Josh Allen here. Go with the hot hand. He's put up 30 plus for you in back-to-back weeks. I think in 6 points. So he's doing great. I wouldn't change it up now, especially since he's got such a safe running floor. I mean, worst case scenario, him and Justin Herbert blow up for 40 points each. So I would go Josh Allen here.
Yeah. I mean, at home against the Chargers, that's not terribly intimidating. So
What about Herbert or Wilson? Who would you play?
Herbert. They're going up
Herbert?
against the Buffalo secondary that has not done well this entire season. And Herbert's looking just absolutely insane. Herbert. I mean, I like Wilson, but Allen and Herbert are two of the guys that have the biggest ceilings this week.
What if they just start shutting the other Allen, who Herbert throws to? What's his name?
Keenan Allen?
Keenan. What if they start shutting Keenan Allen down?
I'd like to see that happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
No one's been
just
able to
been
do
done.
that.
Yeah. Sam says, thanks for the advice, guys. Good vibes.
Have a good one, man.
Thanks for the good vibes and advice. Hope you have a great week, man. Finish out sweet weekend of Thanksgiving. All right. Let's see. And then New Orleans DST or Miami DST? That's a good question.
New Orleans defense. Yes, please. They're going up against Denver this week against Drew Lock. Mr. 5 interceptions a game, the new famous Jameis Winston. Like I said, I like Miami's defense, but do you see what New Orleans did to Atlanta's mediocre offensive line last week? Absolutely tore them apart. And let me read you their last 3 games. 16 against Tampa, 14-16. Please, New Orleans defense. But you can keep them for most of the year. The only game you can't play them in is week 15, which stinks, but then go ahead and pick up the Browns for that week. I am loving New Orleans defense this week.
I wouldn't underestimate, though, the Miami D against Sam Darnold, who he has no dearth of interception possibilities. What do you think, Jared?
That's tough. I mean, Miami's done well, and Miami just absolutely annihilated the Jets. That first meeting, 15 points against them, shut them out.
Week 6.
What's that?
That was week 6. Yeah.
New Orleans has been on a roll lately. 3 straight games, 16, 14, 16. Denver's given up the second most. I mean, again, I don't even know how you choose from those two. But I mean, it's one where you wish you could flex one of them.
Right, exactly.
Because the Jets have given up the most points and the Denver's given up the second most points. It's just flip a coin, you know. I'll defer to you guys on that.
Oh, sweet. They're available in our listener league. I'm going to pick them up.
Because we don't have any. Wait a second. Oh, shoot.
What?
Dang it. You just took New Orleans from me. Rats. Oh, man. Yes.
In our big league.
Dang it.
Well, you talked about them. So you guys talked about them so highly. I was like, well, they're available in what? Well,
McCaffrey
2 leagues.
just got out. I was like, finally, I can put him on IR and pick up New Orleans. Come on, Judah.
Gotta be quicker, man. I'm playing against you this week, am I?
No, we played last week in that league.
Oh, we played last week.
Ah, man, that stinks. Fine,
All right,
I'll just
anyways.
play the Rams against San Francisco this week instead.
Looks like New Orleans is what we've settled on. Thomas H says, my son wants to know if he should start DJ Moore or AJ Brown.
That's tough.
I'm gonna go DJ. AJ didn't do well. The Colts have a good pass defense. They kind of shut him down last time. You don't know for sure what you're going to get week to week from DJ Moore, but they are going up against the Vikings. The Vikings have given up the 4th most points to wide receivers. I don't know. I would chance it on DJ.
Yeah, I think I'd do the same. AJ Brown is awesome, but at the same time, it's also a little bit creepy because he never gets the targets that a lot of number ones normally get. I mean, he's good, but that's partially because he's able to get touchdowns. It goes up and down. Like recently, 8, 7, 9, 4, 7, and most of these he's getting 4 catches in. I'll go with DJ Moore. It's a downgrade to me that Bridgewater's playing. I like Robbie Anderson a lot more this week. If PJ Walker was playing again, it would be fire all your DJ Moore because he just peppered him with targets. I'll go DJ. I think he's got a higher ceiling against a mediocre Minnesota secondary.
Okay. I thought I was going to look and see that you were playing Thomas H in the listener league.
Oh, no, I'm not.
All right. Melvin Gordon or
Anthony
Gallman?
G.
What up, Anthony?
I like the electric Seahawk there. It looks good.
Ooh, interesting. I didn't notice that. Leaning towards Gallman. That's a good question. I probably lean towards Gallman too. Although, man, I mean, just the matchup. For the matchup alone, I'd lean on Gallman. What do you guys think? Jared, you are a Gallman guy. You first broke it on this show that Gallman was going to be good.
I like Gallman. I mean, he's not flashy. He's very utilitarian. But I don't know. I think it's hard to argue with what he's done. He's just getting in he keeps getting in position to get touchdowns. So Gallman for me.
Yeah, same here. Coming from a Melvin Gordon owner, it has not been fun recently. We finally had a breakthrough last week, but he gets New Orleans. So guess how much Melvin Gordon I'm starting? Only if necessary. I would absolutely start Wayne Gallman over him this week. Gordon's got a nice schedule down the road, but I don't want to mess with that this week. Gallman's been good in bad matchups. Absolutely going Wayne Gallman in this one.
Yeah. I just feel like, though, this could be a Melvin Gordon. He catches like 10 balls and goes for 100 yards. I don't know.
Maybe.
Thoughts on Denzel Mims? I just got an insert, super duper fancy schmancy jersey card insert of Denzel Mims.
Ooh,
and
nice.
I think it could be worth something in a couple of years because Mims has been doing pretty well. I've been watching him, and for the most part, I don't know. Seems like he's doing pretty well. What do you guys think? Have you guys seen him play at all? What do you think?
I don't know. It's hard. There's so many good young wide receivers. The Jets are such a messy situation. I mean, maybe if they draft Trevor Lawrence and it works out.
If Trevor Lawrence really agrees to go to New York,
right? But I think it kind of depends. I think on what happens there with their quarterback situation. If it's as it is now going forward, then he's got an uphill fight.
Yeah. To me, it's the coach Gaze, man. I feel like Gaze just ruins people's careers. You'd see like most people that came out of his system, even Ballage is doing well, right? And I remember when Ballage was playing for Gaze, terrible.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, AJ.
Sorry, I was like, yeah, Balaj, Ryan Tannehill, Devontae Parker,
Mm-hmm.
not Jay Cutler, but that was different.
Jake Cutler.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
I'm
Ben-
watching as little Jets as I can.
I understand. Ben says, nice move. Hey, you know what? I just looked. It's in that league that nobody cares about but you.
Look, I'm sitting in first place. I don't want to give that up. All right.
All right. Well, now I care about beating you. I'm not playing you though. I'm playing you in Big League.
Yeah. Yep. Good luck. And then we play next week, possibly to decide the fate of who makes it into the Listening League playoffs. I know Jared's been looking forward to that for weeks.
I'm hoping I can wrap up my first round bye this week, because if I beat Ryan, then I can basically secure a bye, because even if Slanting Chubb beats Judah, he's not going to make up the point gap. Even if like I lost and he won next week. So I want to win and just lock in my bye, and then I can get my popcorn and I can sit back and watch that Judah AJ showdown in week 13.
We'll see.
It was funny. I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but I was like, look, this week I am the biggest Ben's Legends fans and Slanting Chubbs fans you've ever seen. I need to get Jude off my back, and Rathquest, I love you, but I need to get you off my back, man.
Yeah, that's tight in there. And hey, even Gardner Minshew can't, he can't relax because he's right there too. And 7-10's looking pretty good against him this week. And then let's see, next week he's got Jonathan, so it's like there's about 4 teams right there that are, that it's gonna be interesting, 4 teams and 3 spots. So
there's only 3 spots?
Well, no. I'm saying like because like I think me and Jonathan,
y'all are good.
And Jonathan,
there's 6 altogether, right?
There are 6 spots. Yeah, you get in 6 spots. But like me, Jonathan, and Slanting Chubb are in pretty good shape, and so it's
Oh, Jared, you've already clinched a spot. You've officially mathematically clinched.
I've mathematically clinched, but I want to get the bye, and so basically, if I win this week, I'll get the bye. I won't be technically locked into it, but like there's no way that Slanting Chubb's going to make up 120 plus points in 2 weeks. So
yeah. All right, so a couple more questions, then I gotta go. But Anthony says, what's the ceiling for Cup versus the 49ers and Juju versus the Ravens? Well, I don't know. There's a go with Cup, because it doesn't look like Juju.
Yeah.
There's a very high chance that Juju will not play this week. If they continue to get, I don't know what's going to happen. I hope they do play, but just go with Cup, safer. I mean, even if there wasn't all this COVID stuff, I almost feel like Cup is he's going to get. It just feels a little more secure.
Yeah. Plus with Juju, it's just like, I mean, he's been not bad over the last 5 weeks in half point. He's been pretty solid, but granted, those have been against pretty easy matchups, and he's going against Baltimore, and we all know how Steelers-Ravens games are going to be, and that game may not even happen. And I mean, Cup, his ceiling, I mean, we saw what happened last week to him and Woods. If they decide to throw the ball and forget what running the football is, he will score 20 plus points. Like, we've seen that that's possible. I don't know if he's going to replicate it this week. It's been a rocky road for him. I think he's probably going to get like ceiling 15 for Cup, I'll say. I think that's his ceiling this week.
Okay.
If he gets higher than that, I don't have a problem with that because I've got him. But I think that's his ceiling, probably about 15.
I'm playing him against you in Bigley, so.
Oh, great.
What do you
I've
think,
got
Jared?
Mark Andrews in that league. Ugh.
I mean, for this week?
Yeah, for this week. Cup versus 49ers, and assuming Juju plays the Ravens.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, it's not looking good for that game, so you got to go with Cup.
Yeah, okay. Drew Vano brings up something here. He says the Browns have been off this year. Wait for it. Hollywood, AJ, John, they have not been doing well. And then Liam says, don't forget about the actual Browns, although they have been doing all right.
They're doing better in Baltimore right now. So
it says AB too, Antonio
and
Brown.
AB, yep. This has not been the Brown season this year.
Yeah. And then we have one last question before we go. Thomas H says more questions. I wonder if this is the same son that loves the Chiefs. My son wants to know if he should start. Let's see, Drake, Montgomery versus. Okay, so Drake versus New England, Montgomery versus the Pack, or Gordon. Oh, so this is sort of an expansion of the last question, right? He has James Robinson's RB1. I mean, the best matchup is probably Montgomery, right?
Yeah. Although New England this year has not really been that good against the run.
Yeah.
You could chance it on Drake. I don't know. I mean, New England's still been okay against it, but I don't know. I mean, Montgomery.
I guess the problem with Drake though is he going to be the main back, right?
I think he's kind of earned that role, especially over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, this is tough because whenever you see like a feature running back and a good like top 3 matchup like Green Bay, you want to do it, but then you remember that it's,
Okay.
the Bears and David Montgomery, and that they, technically it's a feature running back, and I don't know.
It's gonna be a big Patterson week. Go Patterson!
I want to know how many weeks you said that in a row.
I'm gonna continue to say it until he has.
He's a huge Cordero Patterson fan.
Yeah,
I am.
This is just Terrell Pryor all over again, and the next year he's going to deny any mention of Cordero Patterson.
Probably.
Well, I think Gordon's the easiest no-go there, though, right? Against New Orleans.
I don't like it.
Hard. You don't. Would you say, Jared?
I said, yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's hard though, because he's probably going to get the most carries.
I don't know. Drake has been getting consistent usage in Arizona ever since he's been back. I mean, 16, and he had 11 against Seattle, but Seattle shut down the run entirely. Like Murray had to throw it to get down the field. Also, it was a Thursday night game, so everybody's exhausted. But yeah, 16 carries, 100 yards against Buffalo. That's always really nice. And then David Montgomery, I mean, he is the number one back in Chicago. I mean, 19, 14, 21, 14. He's always going to get the carries. Gordon is the one out of those three, I think, that splits time the most. He got 15 carries last week. Lindsey got 13. Like, that's the thing. He's their quote-unquote number one because they paid him cash, but Lindsey's getting almost as much playing time as he is. So I might go Drake. It's safer. I like Montgomery. There's a chance he gets to 20, but Drake is just he's got such a safer floor to me.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. I've got family in town. I want to get going, but we got one more question. Noah says, thanks for joining us. Noah Drontel.
What's up?
I think he's been in the chat before. Do you think Eckler is going to play tomorrow? We talked a little bit about this. And Jared, you were saying you have your doubts. It doesn't seem very secure.
Yeah, I just don't know that they really need to rush him into this. What's interesting though is Kalen Ballage is also questionable, and so it could potentially end up being Pope, so
or Kelly for all we know,
or Kelly.
Kelly had so I was listening to a Chargers fan talk yesterday, and he was saying it's not looking good for Kelly. They don't like it. The team doesn't like it. Apparently he caused something that he did was the reason they got the the blocked punt or something. He missed his assignment. He hasn't been picking up the playbook very well, or listening, or playing on the field very well, so they don't like him. Which kind of tracks, right, with how it's been going. Everybody and their mother's getting his carry over there before he does.
Yeah.
Pope, Balaj, all these guys.
Jackson when he was healthy.
That's right. Yeah.
My boy.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts on this week? Any big things that you're hoping for? I really need Mahomes, and I need Mahomes, and I need a big game from Hill. Feel like Taysom Hill. Come on, Taysom Hill. I'm rooting for Taysom Hill this week. What about you guys?
Oh, I don't know. I just need some of these teams that went off on me with like Antonio Gibson or somebody. I need their other players to not do so hot. I have so many teams and stuff. It's like, you can't, it's hard to really like root for or against people unless it's like specific situations because you own them somewhere all around. Actually, maybe what would just be best for me is if some of these guys who have the Ravens and Steelers, if they rolled the dice on it and then that game just doesn't get played or something, I don't know.
I'm benching on my Ravens. I'm not really good about it.
Yeah. And it's rough because there are so many, because there are so many fantasy assets in those teams. I mean, even down to, both defenses. I have both defenses on so many teams. And the tight ends, and I mean, there's literally not a position that they don't affect because most people are probably going to be starting the quarterbacks, one wide receiver or more, well, maybe not a wide receiver from the Ravens, running backs, tight end, just so many different things.
But I feel like I have more of difficulty benching my Steelers because without Lamar and just in general, they haven't. I mean, many of their starters aren't going to play anyways because of COVID. It just doesn't feel like they're going to win or even score points. It is interesting about their defense. I hadn't thought about that, whether or not to use that defense.
Yeah.
I think honestly, this hurts Steelers owners, like Jared said. I mean, if you're a Ravens owner, once you saw Lamar had COVID, that was just sit everybody except Gus Edwards, maybe like everybody else, maybe Andrews, just for the fact they might throw it to the tight end a lot. But now you're losing Roethlisberger, Claypool, Deontay, Juju, Eric Ebron, James Conner, and like Jared said, the defense. That's rough. That's brutal.
Well, luckily, we'll know probably. What? Actually, I don't even know if we'll know by tomorrow whether or not they're playing.
Hopefully Sunday morning.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things where, I guess they could have more positive tests like Monday, and then unless you've got somebody else out there for the Monday game, you're in trouble.
Yep.
It stinks too because I really love Tuesday. Like, I hope they do play. First of all, I just want all the games to play.
You just want games every day. Like, what if we just had games? I'm surprised like the NFL hasn't moved to a point where, we don't just have games like
Wednesday night football.
Tuesday. Yeah, right. Yeah. All right.
That might have been a good play if they had done that earlier and just established we're just going to spread them out in more over more days.
Well, that would have been a nightmare for fantasy owners.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, probably. But I'd rather that than it's either Tuesday or we don't get a game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to hit that outro unless you guys have anything else?
I think that's all for me.
Yeah, good luck this week.
Good luck. We'll see you guys in chats and what have you. And be sure to check into our what is it called?
Discord.
Yeah, taking it. I see. There's always a lot of activity Sunday morning.
Let me grab the
Discord.
link real
Sorry.
quick before we leave.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about not being too. I'm usually at church on Sunday mornings, and I'm looking down. I'm like, oh man, there's good questions, and I don't want to be like during church. Just a minute, you got to answer this starter set question.
I should probably jump in on that on our Discord so that I could answer some questions on there.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. There's a lot of like debate and discussion on there, and I tend to post news as soon as I get it. And so, yeah.
All right, there's our Discord link in chat. Go join. A lot of great discussion. We got a lot of guys in there.
Yeah, a lot of our regular guys like I think Drew's very active. Not Thomas. Anthony, Liam, Sam. I think some of them I can't tell who they are.
Just join, and if you can't remember if you joined, rejoin just in case.
All right, guys. John wait. Not John Connor. James Conner is just put on. Is he on the COVID list?
Uh-oh.
I just got a notification. He's out
with illness.
Oh man. There you go. Just sit all your Pittsburgh and
17 minutes ago, James Conner and one Steelers coach have tested positive.
Oh man.
Yeah, the game's not looking promising.
Yeah.
I have bad feelings about it. But I have good feelings about our discussion today and our wonderful listeners. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. You guys' face are awesome. We'll talk to you guys later.